ভৌগোলিক বাস্তবতায় বিশ্ব রাজনীতি ও অর্থনীতির মূল কেন্দ্রে পরিণত হতে যাচ্ছে ইন্দো প্যাসিফিক অঞ্চল। সে লক্ষ্যে ভবিষ্যৎ সম্ভাবনা, পরিকল্পনা, কর্মপদ্ধতির বাস্তবায়ন, প্রতিবন্ধকতা মোকাবেলা সহ নানা বিষয় নিয়ে এই আলোচনা। অনুষ্ঠানে প্রধান অতিথি ছিলেন পররাষ্ট্র প্রতিমন্ত্রী মোহাম্মদ শাহরিয়ার আলম। অংশ নেন বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত ইন্দো প্যাসিফিক অঞ্চলের দেশগুলোর দূতেরা। তারা ভূ রাজনৈতিক অবস্থান, সমুদ্র অর্থনীতির সম্ভাবনা, বিশাল বাজার ও কৌশলগত অবস্থানের মতো বিভিন্ন গুরুত্বপূর্ণ দিক নিয়ে তাদের নিজ দেশের অবস্থান তুলে ধরেন।
As you may all know, the concept was subsequently shared by the United States and then by the so-called Quad, including Australia and India. Today, every country uses this word according to their interpretation. In other words, the concept has been used by each country in different ways with different agendas.
What we want to see, like many, and our Indo-Pacific perspective is our Indo-Pacific perspective. I don't think that there's necessarily one, but we want to see an Indo-Pacific region that is free and open, as others have said. We want to see one that is inclusive. We want to see one that enables countries to make decisions in their own interests. We want to see one that therefore gives countries sovereignty and vests in them that capacity to pursue their own interests in a way that suits them. Our efforts in the region and our contributions in the region are designed to try and create an environment in which that is achievable for every country, no matter how large they are, no matter how big their military is. We think that all countries need to be able to make decisions.
ইন্দো-প্যাসিফিক অঞ্চলে বাংলাদেশের অবস্থান অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। সে কারণে বাংলাদেশের স্থিতিশীলতা, অর্থনৈতিক সমৃদ্ধির অগ্রযাত্রা যেমন গুরুত্ব পেয়েছে, তেমনি রোহিঙ্গা ইস্যুও প্রাধান্য পেয়েছে। রোহিঙ্গা সমস্যা সমাধানে বিকল্প সব পদ্ধতিতে চেষ্টা চালিয়ে যাওয়ারও তাগিদ দেওয়া হয়।
We are talking about stateless people, the Rohingyas. And not only in Arakan, they are now scattered all over the world and they have no state, no home. That is the first thing that we have to recognize. Number two is that for Bangladesh, we have been facing this problem, as I said, 1978, and then huge problem in 1992. Those of you who were in the army, you know it better, when I was handling the whole thing. Now, today, we are crossing 5 years, 6 years. Bangladesh has tried diplomatically. They are still trying diplomatically. And diplomacy should continue. But what have we gained? We have gained nothing. Not a single Rohingya has gone from Bangladesh or Myanmar has taken. It is fallacy to think that Myanmar would take, at this moment, the government of Myanmar sitting in that Naypyidaw would welcome the Rohingyas and take them back to Mangdu, Rothidang and Wuthidang. To my study and to my knowledge, small knowledge, I don't think that's going to happen. So please, let us see that 5 years have passed. Diplomacy we could not do much, in spite of fact that our Prime Minister appeared in the United Nations, and of course the Foreign Ministry working hard day and night. There are options. Please think on those options.
মানবিক দৃষ্টিকোণ থেকে পালিয়ে আসা রোহিঙ্গাদের বাংলাদেশ আশ্রয় দিলেও তাদের অনেকেই এখন বাংলাদেশের নিরাপত্তার জন্য হুমকি হয় তেমন কাজে জড়িয়ে পড়ছেন। জাতীয় নিরাপত্তা বিঘ্নিত করে এমন অপচেষ্টা বরদাস্ত করা হবে না বলেও হুঁশিয়ারি দেন পররাষ্ট্র প্রতিমন্ত্রী।
Look into the possibility of joining, because this is surely a platform where you need to join. But may I also humbly remind you that as a country, Bangladesh is yet to sign or agree to any free trade agreement. That goes on to suggest to me that we do have some capacity issues in negotiating, in joining such an important, of course, or a large bloc or a trading bloc, even if you want to put politics aside. But we are talking about this strategy or issue at a time when Bangladesh has emerged as the second largest economy in South Asia and 35th largest in the world. And the forecast is in next 10 years, Bangladesh will become 27th largest economy on GDP nominal basis, and we are already 25th largest economy of the world. I will also have to touch upon the all-important topics with regards to the Rohingya crisis. Our government has taken a combination of bilateral, regional and multilateral efforts to find a durable solution to this protracted situation. We have been repeatedly reminding international community that the source of the problem is in Myanmar and the solution lies in Myanmar. The internal political stability in Myanmar would indeed remain crucial, and unfortunately at this present moment very little has been done, even though we do welcome the adoption of the first ever UN Security Council resolution on Myanmar. We have also kept our door open for any formal or informal dialogue. Our sustained diplomatic efforts have kept the Rohingya issue alive, and it's very important. People who are keeping an eye on the events that are unfolding in the global arena, that keeping the Rohingya issue alive and a priority is not an easy task. And despite international community's attention being diverted to fresh humanitarian agencies in other parts of the world, it's crucial. And it is to be made clear that Bangladesh, under Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's leadership, will continue to set an example of humanity as long as the forcibly displaced Rohingyas remain in our territory. But we shall also not compromise on our national security if certain section of the Rohingyas are found to be engaging in criminal activities, which they are, like terrorism, human trafficking, drug running, and gender-based violence. We have recently noticed that Human Rights Watch was rather critical about our law enforcing agencies' role dealing with the Rohingyas. I will be expecting our friends, especially who are present here today and who are actively participating on the humanitarian assistance providing Rohingyas under this JRP umbrella, will be able to defend the risk that our law enforcers are taking. We have experienced multiple fatalities on behalf of law enforcing agencies, including very senior officials, even in recent times.
সেই সাথে রোহিঙ্গাদের ভরণ পোষণে বাংলাদেশ যে পরিমাণ অর্থ ব্যয় করছে তাতে বন্ধু সহযোগী রাষ্ট্রগুলোর অংশগ্রহণ অর্ধেকও নেই বলে জানান তিনি।
The government of Bangladesh is spending over $1 billion. It was in the tune of $1.2 billion in 2021 for the Rohingyas, and against that, international community is actually struggling to raise even 50% of what Bangladesh is spending. A country with less than $3,000 per capita income is spending over $1 billion from her own pocket. That hopefully will remind our friends and encourage them to do a little more, because the 2022 JRP performance wasn't that greatly encouraging, and very soon we will sit together and launch JRP for 2023. But it's not the humanitarian support which is, of course, it's a priority. If I say it's not, it's going to go down well. But it's actually the repatriation effort that is what we are seeking from our friends. Statement. She recalled the atrocities of war and urged world leaders to bring an end to hostilities through meaningful negotiations. And under her guidance, Bangladesh will continue to maintain a principle-based approach to various resolutions or decisions concerning Ukraine and the Russian Federation of the UN and other multilateral fora. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has assumed her role as part of the UN Secretary General's Global Crisis Response Group, comprising only 6 world leaders. With her leading role from the front, our government is engaging with a broad range of countries and international institutions to help Bangladesh tide over the ongoing food, fuel and financial crisis in the aftermath of the Ukraine war. We are confident of managing the situation the way our government succeeded in vaccine diplomacy with a lot of your help and support, and keeping our economic engine running through effective interaction with our relevant international partners during COVID-19.
ইন্দো প্যাসিফিক অঞ্চলে বাংলাদেশের 6 দফা পরিকল্পনার কথাও তুলে ধরেন পররাষ্ট্র প্রতিমন্ত্রী।
For a more robust economic cooperation in the ARF region.
সম্রাট আনোয়ার, ATN নিউজ, ঢাকা।